Welcome. In this lesson, we'll go over how to use PHP to accomplish conditional logic, creating a form with PHP, getting data from that form with get and post, creating and using arrays, and using for each to process arrays, as well as things that are similar to arrays, like return database information. First, conditional logic. We're going to talk about four primary things: if else, and while. If checks if a particular condition is true. That is, it checks a particular variable and says if that variable is what I expect it to be, or meets the condition that I set, then I'll let this pass and execute my code. The most common operators are equals, non-equals, exactly equals, and then you have greater than and greater than or equal to. It also has the ability to check if something exists, so if it's there at all. Next is if else. These are always paired with an if, and it creates a subsequent check on the condition if the if was not true. So it tries the if, and if the if fails, it proceeds to the if else. Finally, we have else. It is also always paired with an if, and it comes after all the other if-elses. If all the checks fails, both the ifs and the if-elses if they exist, then it will execute the else. The while continues a contained process as long as a particular condition remains true. So once it's true, it gets in until it changes. And it uses the same operators that if uses. Here we have the project we made in our last video. So we're going to use it to learn about ifs. First, we'll set another variable. We'll call it check, since we're going to be checking it. And we'll set it equal to 5. Next, we're going to go down and set an if around our echo. $check equals equals. Now we're using 2 because if we only use one equal, it'll assign a value to a variable. We're checking if a value is a variable, so we have to use 2 of them. And we'll set it to 4 just so that we can see it fail and know that it's working. Next, we'll open our brackets, and we'll put a closing bracket after the echo. That means the echo will only execute if this is true, and it's not. So let's see if it removes our creativeonlineschool.com sentence. Yep, it sure did. Next, we can go and see it reappear if we set it equal to 5. This is our new lesson from creativeonlineschool.com. It's back. So, what if we want to do more than one check? Well, we can then use an else if. So you come down here and say else if check. We'll say greater than or equal to, just to make it a little different. And then we can say echo second result. Now, what do you think we're going to get? It's the same. That's because the else if only fires if the if fails. And this one didn't fail. It was true. It is equal to 5, so it never got to the else if. But what if we changed it from 5 to 6? When we launch it this time, we see the second result. That's how ifs and else ifs work. Next, we're going to say else and open it again, and this time we'll echo third creativeonlineschool.com. And if we can get all of these to be false, it should reduce that. So we're going to change check from 6 to 3. And now when we see it run, third creative online-school.com. This works because it failed both the if and the else if. And if it fails everything in the list, it will process the else. This is a good way to catch all if you're not entirely sure what data you're going to be processed. If you don't know what the value is going to be, and it could be anything, then you need an else because you can't check for everything. We'll continue on in our next video.